All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about a Bitcoin miner that's having a very, very green day today, and I think it's the most overvalued Bitcoin miner out of all the ones that I track. So I want to show you what's going on today, and I want to talk about the Bitcoin miner in specific and tell you what my concerns are. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could please smash the like button, I appreciate it. It helps the channel out a lot. And lastly, if you want to become a member of the channel, you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button on the YouTube page. If you don't see that button, there should be a link below. Members get some members-only content. We get once a week members-only live stream. And members also get to pick a video for me to do a deep dive on each week. So we'd love to have you there. The company that I'm talking about is Terawulf, stock ticker WULF Wolf. So I want to just start out by showing you the Bitcoin big board today. So these are all the Bitcoin miners that I track. This is not every single one that's publicly traded. It's most of them. You're going to see this is a sea of red. Every single one of these is red. Some of these are very deep into the red, yet Wolf is up 16% on the day. So that is more than a little bit of an outlier. That is a drastic outlier. So I want to take a look at that because I don't see any reason for this upward movement. And in fact, despite some recent good news, I have big concerns about Wolf. So this is not financial advice, but I'm going to walk you through my thoughts on this and show you why I am concerned about Wolf. And I'm also confused as to what is going on with today's action. So the first thing is, if anybody knows something specific that happened today with Wolf, if you could drop it in the comments section below, because there was no press release today. There's nothing on their website. There is a little bit of an unusually high amount of volume, but nothing drastic. So this is really a head scratcher for me. Okay, so you can see right now Wolf's at about 90 cents. It's been as high as 92 cents on the day today. That's up 16%, again, on a day where everything else, all the other Bitcoin miners are getting absolutely decimated. It's a bad day in the market. The S&P's down almost 2%. The Nasdaq's down over 2%. Bitcoin is absolutely sideways, so that doesn't have any momentum. And the Bitcoin miners are getting wrecked, except for Terawulf. So you can see the volume here is a little high, 671,000 versus an average volume of 281,000. But these are very small numbers. Typically, if something is going on, you would see this number much higher. So it is a little bit high volume, not enough to justify the move that it's making today. So yesterday, before the market opened, Terawulf put out their monthly operational report. I will tell you, this is the first monthly operational report for Terawulf. So this is for the month of November. They put this out on December 5th before the market opened. They have only now really just started mining Bitcoin somewhere in September or October. On this news yesterday, it did trade down. So this 16% move to the upside is not related to this press release. But I do want to go through a couple of items on here because I want to tell you the good side of this before I get into the side that I'm concerned about. Okay, so November 2022, self-mined 134 Bitcoin in November of 2022. That's the most they've ever mined in a month. So it's not enough to put them into the top 10, but it's big progress. If I go down here to a chart, in Q3 of 2022, which was July, August, and September, they mined a total of 117 Bitcoin in those 3 months, in the quarter. So they jumped that up to 119 Bitcoin just in the month of October, and now they've increased it to 134 Bitcoin in the month of November. They've got a lot more exahash coming online, so this is the good part of the story. They have finally gotten themselves going. They have these facilities up and running. They're ramping up. They're going to continue to ramp up. The second part of the good news you're going to see here, power cost per Bitcoin. In the third quarter, it was over $20,000 per Bitcoin. That is high. Last month, the month of October, it came way down to $11,000, and this month it came down to $6,151 per Bitcoin, and that is their power cost per Bitcoin. They have some structured deals that are just better than every other Bitcoin miner. So these are the good things going on with Terawulf. They're looking at, I think, a blended rate of 3.5 cents per kilowatt. If they can maintain that $6,100 or even under $7,000, that's much less than all of their competition. So as Bitcoin is down at these low numbers, it does allow Terawulf to be very competitive and more profitable than their peers. Sometime over the next 3 or 4 months, they expect to get themselves up to 4.3 exahash. Right now, I believe they're at 2 exahash as of the end of November. Their November number was their all-time high, and it should continue to go up from there. So all of that sounds good. Okay, so before I go to the actual financial statements, I'm going to go to the footnotes. Like my other concerns in this industry, Terawulf has a cash flow problem. They have a liquidity problem. So right here in the notes to the consolidated financial statement, they say Terawulf expects to fund its business operations and infrastructure build out through the issuance of debt or equity securities, sales of mined Bitcoin, or through the provision of miner hosting services. During the 9 months ended September 30th, the company entered into an at-the-market issuance sale for an aggregate of up to $200 million. So this is how they're expecting to fund themselves. The problem is they're only a $120 million market cap company. So opening up a $200 million at-the-market offering is fine, but it's not likely they're going to be able to use a large chunk of that in the short term. Otherwise, the dilution that they're going to go through is massive. Now, I think they will end up having to massively dilute. Their path to success, to me, would appear to be mass dilution to get them through this period of time. Because when we look at the balance sheet, you're going to see their liquidity situation is upside down, and it's going to take a while before they can start being cash flow positive. So the debt market has dried up. There is no debt to be had for any of these companies. And even the debt that they were getting last year was just awful for most of these companies, and it's crushing them. So this equity program is going to be what it takes because the amount of Bitcoin they mine is nowhere near enough to pay for their operations and service the interest and principal on their debt that is coming due. There can be no assurance that the at-the-market offer will provide sufficient capital or that any other financing will be successfully completed on acceptable terms and volume, if at all, which may impact the timing or scale of Terawulf's planned development and the company's ability to meet ongoing business needs and financial commitments. In the event that Terawulf is unable to raise additional capital, Terawulf may seek alternative arrangements or potential partnerships in order to fund the planned development. In management's opinion, while it expects to be successful in its fundraising efforts, these factors, which include elements of capital acquisition outside the control of the company, raise substantial doubt about Terawulf's ability to continue as a going concern through at least the next 12 months. So there it is right there. And now understand, this is not uncommon. There are a lot of startup companies and there are a lot of Bitcoin mining companies that are in the same situation. They're upside down from a liquidity standpoint, and this is a required disclosure. Right now, all things considered, they don't have enough money to get where they're going. So they are depending on this at-the-market offering to get them there, and if they can't sell enough shares of this and generate enough cash, then they may not make it to the finish line. Okay, so if we go up to the balance sheet, just to walk you through what their liquidity problem is. This is a company that as of September 30th, and that's their most recent quarterly report, they had $16 million in current assets, only $4.4 million of which were cash that was unrestricted. They have $105 million in current liabilities. Now, there are a few of these that they can probably negotiate around, but $70 or $80 million of this is some pretty rock solid liabilities that are due. So you can see this is a very, very upside down current ratio. Their current liabilities of $105 million are vastly greater than their current assets of $16 million. So they cannot, over the next 12 months, this is what they were saying in that footnote, they don't have the money to pay these bills off. And remember, these consist of not only accounts payable, but there's $34.6 million of long-term debt that's due in the next 12 months, and a convertible promissory note of almost $12 million that's due. So there's a lot of money that's due in the next 12 months, and they don't have that money. In addition to all of that, they have another $81 million of long-term debt past that. So they have to service all this debt, so their interest also ticks up quite a bit each month. So if I go to their statement of cash flows, net cash used in operating activity for the quarter ended September 30th, they used $33 million just in operations. But what's more than that is from investing activity, they used $75 million. Financing activity provided them $73 million. So they're not in a situation where they're going to go out and get any more debt, in all likelihood, is what it would seem to me. So their negative cash flow from operations, in addition to that, they're going to be negative cash flow on the debt that they have to pay back. So this is a company that's going to need to come up with a lot of cash. So that is my big concern. Where are they going to come up with the $80 or $90 million difference that they are upside down in liquidity for the next 12 months period? They're saying they're going to do it at the market program, but with a market cap of $116 million, that's going to represent potentially a massive amount of dilution. So I'm not saying it can't be done, particularly if Bitcoin rallies and their stock rallies, then possibly, this won't be as damaging amount of liquidity as it looks like. But at the moment, Bitcoin has been very sideways, and I just don't see anything today. I just don't see anything happening today that's justifying this gigantic move up. So it's now, since we've been talking, WULF is now up 14% on a board that's very, very red. Today seems to be an anomaly for their stock, and I believe that they have a problem that's going to take a while to fix if they can fix it. So remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy or sell Terawulf. You guys have to do your own due diligence and decide your own risk profile. So please be careful trading this and all the Bitcoin mining stocks. This is a very, very volatile sector, and it's all very contingent on the price action of Bitcoin. So that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.